This looks complicated, but it's really easy, and I'm going to show you in this video, so stay tuned. If you haven't already, subscribe to this channel. Hey there squares, this is the Square Type channel where I show you easy to follow pop-up card tutorials and demo videos. Here is the crossing pivot arms video. I just used a ruler, scissors, a glue stick, and a hole punch, and a blade, and some fun foam, and of course my pencil. And the image I'm using is a dress and some legs, all out of cardstock. So let's get started. With the cardstock, you're just going to cut 2 strips of cardstock, and then you're going to glue them together because that's going to be your pull tab, and your pull tab needs to be nice and sturdy. So I'm just taking my glue stick and gluing that up. If you don't know how to make a hub and how all that works, check out the link up above and down below in the description field, because you need 3 sets of hubs, hub caps, and hub rings. And then also your card for your cardstock. I'm going to put it on a flat cardstock, and then I'm going to glue that into a card later on. So here I've got my leg or arm, and then I'm going to have my pull tab pulling from over here, which means that it's going to be connected up here, and then I need a pivot point down here about 1 inch below. So that's my pivot point, and that's going to be pivoting around using a hub. So let me prepare my hub. I'm just going to trim that to size. And everything I'm doing is kind of eyeballing, so not really a lot of measurement. You can do this by just eyeballing too. Okay, so I'm just going to mark on the card where that hub is going to be. And then I'm going to draw that line out and make it into a crosshair. Then I take my ring and trace the inside of the ring using that crosshair as the center point, and then cut that out. So the hub has to be the same size as that ring, same size as the hole in the card. Okay, so now I can just erase my marks here, and I can put my leg on there, and I'm going to flip it over while it's sitting where it should be, and that way I can mark it on the back of the leg where that hole is. So I also drew the leg on the back side, sorry about that. Anyway, the mark is right there. I don't know if you can see it, so I'm going to make it bigger so you can see clearly. So there's the mark on the back of the leg. I'm just going to take my hub, put glue on the H, the back side of the hub, that H, and then I'm going to glue it right at that mark. See, right there? And when the glue is dry, I can then lift the flaps, the hub flaps, and insert them through the hole coming from the front of the card. That way the hub doesn't go through the leg, it's just attached on the back of the leg, and it can swing back and forth, pivoting on that point, and it doesn't get caught up on anything else. Okay. So now I can attach my pull tab and my other leg. So I'm going to mark it on the leg where the pull tab is going to be, take it out of the card, and then take the other leg and put it underneath. That way when they're stacked together exactly the same, and I punch the hole, it's going to be at the same position on both legs. Like that. Okay, so now with the pull tab, that's going to be like this. So I need to punch a hole at the bottom of the pull tab. And then I need to put it back together. So the leg with the hub in it goes at the bottom, and then the other leg on top, and then the pull tab on top of that. And then you insert a new hub from the bottom going upward. And then you can now insert the other hub on the bottom of the other leg back through the card. That way you can test it. So here, see it's all swinging, which is great. And then you can see here that the bottom leg swings just fine, but the top leg is kind of wonky. That's fine. The top leg just needs its own pivot point. So here we go. So push the top leg underneath the pull tab so you can't see it, and then trim the top of the other leg. Then align them back together again, and then put your finger at the top so that it's the new pivot point for the top leg, and then mark that. And now you can punch a hole through it right at that mark, and you can get another hub, the third hub, and trim that up and put glue on the back side, just on the H. And now you can insert it through the hole from the bottom going upward. That way the flaps are sticking up out of the card. And you can press it down and it'll be in exactly the right position it needs to be in. So now it's glued onto the card and it should be able to swing. Unfortunately, the feet still catch on each other. So the way that I've solved that problem is that I use fun foam. So disassembling the mechanism, I'm going to take my top leg and then I'm just going to trace from about 1/4 of an inch from the bottom hole to about 1 inch from the toes. I'm just going to trace that fun foam and cut it up to size, and then I can glue it to the back of this leg. So you want it to look like that. Flip it back over and then you can reattach it to the card. Okay, so now everything's in place, and see, it swings just great. I'm going to give my card to a left-handed person, so I'm going to put my pull tab on the left. You can do whatever you want, left or right, whatever you want. I'm also going to hide the pull tab behind the card, so I'm just going to make a slit here, and also don't forget the thumb notch for easy gripping. So now I'm going to pass the pull tab through that slit and then reattach it to the hub. And now I can secure all of the hubs with a ring. So just place your ring, slip the flaps, the hub flaps through the ring, and now take the blue hub cap, put glue on it, open the flaps of the ring, and then glue it down. So just the only thing that has glue is the hub cap. Just open the flaps and then press down. This sandwiches the flaps between the ring and the hubcap, and that way the flaps stay open all the time, but the pivot point still turns. So don't forget the hub also in the back, and I like to trim all of the overhanging flaps just to make sure that nothing catches on each other. So that's what I'm doing here. And then I'm going to push the pull tab all the way in and trim it flush with the card, and also trim the top of the leg that's overhanging out of the card, just making sure that there's nothing showing outside of the card. And all that's left now is to hide the mechanism. So I've got this dress that I don't want to move when the legs are moving, so I'm going to raise it up with some fun foam, and that way the dress doesn't touch the mechanism, and also the fun foam doesn't touch the mechanism. If I wanted the dress to also move, then I don't need to use the fun foam. I can just glue the dress onto one of the hubs. I've got a question for you. Do you watch these videos just for entertainment value? If so, leave a comment down below. Let me know what your favorite parts are. That way I can make sure to include them in any future videos. And if there are parts that you don't really like, let me know, and I'll try to make sure I don't include them anymore. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. Share, like, dislike, comment, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye!